Hi everyone, Dr. Byrne here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be illustrating how to interpret the results of one-way analysis of variance generated by the SPSS. I have observed that there are still a lot of students who are having difficulty in interpreting the results generated by the SPSS. And so I hope that this video will be of help to you. So without much ado, let's go to our sample data. I have here a sample result of one-way analysis of variance generated by the SPSS. But before we move forward, just a disclaimer that the data that you can see in this presentation are fictitious data and that they are especially made for this presentation only. Alright? Now, going back to the data, you can see here that there are three dependent variables here. Their achievement scores in math, science, and English. And the students here were classified according to type of elementary school graduated from. And they were classified as barrio school, central school, and private school. Now, the first thing that you need to look at here will be the mean. So, if you can see here that the students who came from central school got the highest mean of 88.71, followed by the students who came from private school who got a mean of 82.13, and followed by the students who came from barrio school which had a mean of 76.42. But these values will have meaning if you describe them. Meaning you need to come up with your own scale and description so that you can describe these values for them to have meaning. Okay, like for example, if this is a 100 item test and 75 is the passing mark, then you can say therefore that the mean score of students who came from barrio school is above passing mark, because 76.42 is above passing mark if 75 is the passing mark, as well as the scores of students in the central school and those also the scores of students who came from private school. Okay. Now, the next thing that you need to look at here will be the standard deviation. Again, if you recall the role of standard deviation, the standard deviation will tell us how spread or how close are the data towards the mean. And so the closer the value towards 0, then that would also indicate that the values are closer towards the mean. So here, the mean score of students who came from central school got the lowest standard deviation, which is 3.52. So you can say therefore that the mean scores of students or the scores of students who came from central school are more closer towards the mean, which is 88.71. Alright, and the next one would be the mean score, mean achievement score in English. And again, it's the students who came from central school who got the highest mean of 90.29, and followed by the students who came from private school which had a mean of 83.83, and those students who came from barrio school which had a mean of 76.96. And of course you can see there the standard deviation. Alright, and the last one here will be the mean achievement score of students in science. And again, the students who came from central school got the highest mean of 88.77, and followed by the students who came from private school which had a mean of 81.48, and followed by the students who came from barrio school which had a mean of 75.04. And again, these means are above passing mark if we're going to use the description that I have mentioned in this portion. Okay, and you also here see the standard deviation of the mean scores of students in science. Alright, so again, for these values to have meaning, or for these values to be appreciated, then you need to come up with your own scale and description so that these values will have meaning. You need to describe these values. Okay, now the next thing that you need to look at here will be the result of the ANOVA. Okay, and there are three parts rather that you need to look at here. The first one would be the F value, and followed by the P value. But of course you have also to observe here the degrees of freedom. Alright, now if you set your alpha level at 0.05, then you need to compare the p-value here to 0.05 alpha level, and 0.00 obviously is less than 0.05. Then that means you reject the null hypothesis, and since you rejected the null hypothesis, then you can say therefore that there are significant differences in terms of the mean achievement scores of students in mathematics when they are grouped according to type of elementary school graduated from. So how do you report that? Then you can say that students' achievement in mathematics differed significantly when grouped according to type of school or type of elementary school graduated from. Then you indicate also the F value, which is 63.09, but in indicating the F value, you need also to include the degrees of freedom, which is 2 and 106. And of course, more importantly, you need to indicate the p-value, which is 0.00 less than 0.05. Alright? Now, moving forward, you can, if you try to inspect the p-value and the f-value of the achievement score in English, the p-value is also 0.00, which also indicates that there are significant differences among the mean scores of students in English when they are classified according to type of elementary school graduated from. And the same result is provided in their achievement score in science. Alright, the p-value here is also 0.00, which is also less than 0.05, and so the null hypotheses are also rejected in these two variables. Okay. Now, since we observe significant differences in these three variables, the next thing that you need to look at will be the Posthoc test. Alright. So the Posthoc test will show us which of these variables differed significantly. What do I mean by that? If I try to look at the results of the LST, or the least square difference, if we compare the mean score of students who came from various school and from central school, there is a difference of negative 12.29. Alright? And you can see here in the p-value, this column, you can see that the p-value is 0.00, which is less than 0.05. Then that indicates that the difference between the mean achievement score of students in math of students who came from various school and central school are significantly different. And you can see also here the 95% confidence interval. Then you can say here that we are 95% confident that the mean difference of negative 12.29 is between negative 14.47 and negative 10.10. Alright. Now, if we try to compare the p-value, if you try to compare the mean achievement score of students who came from various school and private school, alright, there is also a difference of negative 5.71. And the p-value here is also 0.00, which is also less than 0.05. Alright, so then that means that the difference between the mean achievement score of students who came from various school and private school is significantly different. And again, we are 95% confident that the mean difference of negative 5.71 is between negative 7.68 and negative 3.74. Alright, so how do you report that? Then you can say here that the Posthoc comparison using the LST indicated that the mean achievement score in mathematics of students from various school, right, from various school was significantly different with the mean score of students from central school because of this p-value, and as well as with the mean score of students who came from private school because of this p-value also. Alright, so that's it. That's how simple it is on how to interpret the results of one-way analysis of variance generated by the SPSS.